Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Talk With Me. Today I'm going to be talking about something very common and possibly you must have heard of it. Many people they keep saying I'm waiting on God or I believe in God. You ask someone a simple question, what you just hear is by the grace of God. Those words are so wonderful, they are bombastic. I want you to know that in reality, those words sometimes are being used to cover up laziness, cover up lack of someone that lacks the ability to take control of his or her life, or they can't plan, they can't think of anything, because when you ask what are you doing or something, someone will just say that I'm waiting on God, but there is no action, there is nothing the person is doing to take control of his or her destiny. One thing I've come to realize that in life you are solely responsible for the decision you take, for whatever thing that happens around you. The reason is because whether someone comes to say do this and do that, at the long run or at the end, you will discover that you are the one that will bear the consequences of your action or your decision, whether they are good or bad. I want you to know that depending on God doesn't mean that you fold your hand to do nothing. Trusting on God doesn't mean that doesn't stop you from planning. Rather, it means you taking responsibility of your life. He has given us wisdom, He has given us strength, He has given us opportunity. Even the Bible made us to understand that God has given us all things pertaining to life and godliness. So whatsoever thing you need to live a good life, to live a life that is well pleasing to God, whether financially, spiritually, and what have you, God has given it unto you. But that does not mean that you sit and do nothing, because the Bible made us understand that faith is there. So if truly you believe God, it will definitely show in your actions. God means you pray and also you plan. While you are praying, depending on God. On the other hand, you are planning. Sometimes when you pray and you plan, you will see that God sometimes might be leading you sometimes towards what you have penned down. Some other times, if God does not want something, what you will just simply do, make it not to go through, it will make it not to work or not to go through for you, and other alternative will come. You believe, but you also believe. You trust in God, but also you are taking an action or a step of faith. One thing I want you to know is that don't use God will do it as an avenue or as an excuse to cover up procrastination or fears. Remember David in the Bible, when the children of Israel were Goliath was facing them, many of them were afraid, waiting for God possibly to do one thing, and Goliath will just fall down. You see a man that believes in God and trusted in a God of Israel, and he knew that this thing should have been done in Israel. You saw how, yes, he believed in God, but he took an action. He took action by going towards Goliath. A practical reminder I want to show you today is that I want you to pray over your goals. Pray over your goals. Anything that you want to do, pray about it. God answers prayers. His ear are open to the prayers or to the requests of the righteous. So pray over your goals. Seek God's direction. I was in church a few Sundays back, and we were taught about how our eyes of understanding should be enlightened. So seek God's direction. You need God to direct you. Tell Him to open your eyes. Tell Him to guide you. Don't just sit and just wait for solution to come from nowhere, when you are not making any plan or anything towards whatsoever thing you want to do. Or possibly someone just told you something and you're waiting for someone to just come and begin to plan it for you, arrange everything for you. Life don't work like that. Seek God's direction. Pray and tell Him to guide you. Pray and tell Him to open your eyes to see opportunities. Open your ears to hear of opportunities. So pray over your goals, seek God's direction, and stand up and move. I want you to know that your action plus or your effort plus God's grace is equals to results. So when you take a move and God's grace is there to enable you, the grace of God can even enable you to do that thing that you want. So everything put together will give you a beautiful that trusting God should empower you to work and not to keep idle. Remember, the Bible says that God will bless the work of your hands. But if there is nothing in your hands, what then do you want him to bless? If there is nothing you are doing, what do you want him exactly to bless? So trusting God shouldn't be a means for you to just be lazing about, doing nothing. I trust God and waiting. Sometimes some of us are so funny because sometimes most people will be waiting for a loud voice, that will come, from, I don't know, maybe kind of Saul's experience, saw why you some people just want to hear a loud voice. They just want to see something dramatic before they will believe that God is there with them and all that. So I want you to trust God and be on the move. Thank you.